Da, 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 da. That's the Star Citizen song, in case you didn't know. Let's switch back to that. All right. Last time, I was falling through a planet. Trying to do some missions in the PU where it didn't give me a count. Am I out of obituary? We shall find out. There we go. Yeah. Bring this to Discord as well. There we go. Kraig is going to stop by and hang out. Okay. Yeah, get me on the shard. Why would it be an obituary? I thought it was a checkpoint. Is that the respawn bug? I don't care. I can do obituary. Yeah, just bad day falling through stuff. I'm not in the hospital bed, so that's good. Bruh, server error Crusader. Well, that's not good. Move it obituary. Alright, well. Maybe we'll server hop then. Let's look at, yeah, I do have a bunch of stuff. Oh, good, I got my deadhead stuff. Alright, let's, move all these over. I have two weapons. Yeah, I got the P4 and the scalpel. Alright, so. Alright. You match with. So let's do it like this. P4. Boop. Alright, I think we're good. Yeah, if we're hitting some server errors, I can't imagine. So what are we looking at? Public, Alpha, 410. Shard 398, 400. Yeah, it's because Crusader just died and all those people got bounced off. Are we at our obituary? Yeah, obituary. Oh, right, because we were on Bloom and it's just started to put us at the closest damn spot. So I'm going to do stuff on Monox. What was I doing? Oh, we were exploring all the Headhunters locations, right. Huh. What contracts we got? I don't know that I want to do a bunch of these, though, because, like, these are all PAF. OL Orbital Laser Platform. Kill somebody at an asteroid base? We could do that. Assuming it works. Yeah, look, these are all doubling for some reason. Or 3, Shepherd's Rest. So these are what we were doing, clearing the site, and they wasn't really working the way I thought. I almost want to go out to, like... What am I wearing? Let's see if we can do some heavy armor. Here. Oh yeah, we can do it in the, whatchamacallit? Cargo center. So we'll do that. And then maybe we'll fly out to Gaslight. Da, 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 da. Where do I want to go? Oh, not this way. Maybe we'll swap to that heavy armor, because it'll give us... If we go out to Gaslight and we do the stuff out on those, like, Ignis and all that, they're pretty cold. Like, Pyro 4 was pretty cold. I used to be freezing all the time, remember? So, I don't think I have any ships here. Do I? Negative. Do it, Zeus.
Your vehicle has been visited again.
Guess the cargo deck is what we want. Shoop dooba 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 doo. Alright, so let's buy this heavy armor. Yeah. Yeah, that's expensive. Not that it really matters. I have cruise lux and all that. Utility, yeah, I think we're good. And then we do pad 3, and then entrance. Alright. Alright, should be okay. Should be okay.
Welcome to the ASOS vehicle retrieval system.
Alright, Zeus.
Your vehicle has been visited again.
Nobody coming here? Beep, flop, blorp, loop, blip. Alright, so got all the big stuff on. Should be pretty much good to go. Can I fit this in? Yes, I can. Thank you. That's good news. Yeah, I don't have that much ammo left. Excuse me, sorry. Alright. Alright, team, let's get out of here. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Alright, so I'm not really interested in this. There we go.
Takeoff complete. Landing gear raised.
You're gonna go to Gaslight. Which is obstructed. Alright, so we're not gonna worry about that too much then.
Shields are off.
Boing. Where's my compass? Oh, there it is. It's below me, right. Oh, I know why it's obstructed. Now let's go to Starlight.
Auto drive is now on.
So that's not far, and that should be able to get us an angle around. I do like the Zeus. Wish the CL had the cargo bay, not quite so jank. But beyond that, Zeus is a solid ship.
Shields are on. Quantum drive is down. Shields are off.
Pyro 1, Pyro 5, there's Gaslight, alright.
Quantum drive is now
With the amount of moving around ships, it's also something where I'm like, I don't really want to outfit them anyway. I'm constantly just claiming and moving in this. I guess they claim with the opponents, but this ship used to be whiter. Feels like it's very blue-gray now. I'm not complaining. It still looks nice, but I thought like the default paint was like a really white one. That's okay. So here's the question. Come on, go inside. The it's not a what is it? Fleet Week. The ship show with the combat ships. Give me Area 18 again. I like Area 18. It's my preferred starting zone still after all these years. I just think it has the best setup. Followed probably by Orison, just for all the good ship outfitting. But the problem is it's going to be super crowded, and they don't have the big hangars, whereas Orison and New Babbage have the big hangars. So should I just bite the bullet and do New Babbage? But then I'm like, oh, I haven't even used the big hangars in forever. It's like, what's the point? It's the main advantage is that you're at Lorville or New Babbage, you can bring your ground vehicles up in the hangar. Whereas if you're at the other ones, you have to go find a ground location to put the vehicles in old style. I don't know, maybe I'll just do New Babbage again. Seems to be the best of the bunch. And if I want to quest in Stanton, I like to quest in New Babbage. For the moment, at least. Yeah, we'll get to Gaslight. Then we'll head over to do some missions in, like, Pyro 4 area. See how those are holding up. See if there's fewer people out here. The thing is, if only 3 servers in Pyro, I don't really know how they're broken up. So we'll have to see when we get there. But right now, this server says it's got 20 people. But this might be the, like, I think it's the inner planets and the outer planets, and then, like, the space server. I think some of the asteroid bases and stuff. I'm not 100% sure. So we shall see. But I liked working Gaslight when I was doing the Selena Chronicles. I wish the game had been stable enough that I could have played that more regularly. That would have been nice. I may not come back to Pyro next patch. It depends on what has to happen here. You know, there's those new missions, the new ship missions, and I do want to grind that rep, but I also don't know if those are Stanton only, Pyro only, like what the deal is. We shall see. I do miss my 400i. That is a ship that I would like to see them give the Zeus treatment in terms of redundant components. Makes more sense to me that the 400i would have multiple different systems. I mean, I think it had a size 3 shield, didn't it? That's a big difference. I don't know if it still does, though. So this guy's got a bunch of size 2 shields. Yep, 4 of them or something. Yeah, I think 4. I would prefer to see the 400i and use it out here. That's just the Gentleman's Explorer, but I think also for like day-to-day driving, it's got a good use case. I guess something with an Ursa would be the best, because you could have local respawn, but that's not even working right now anyway. Half the time I have local respawn, and then I end up back at the space station or the nearest starport. So who knows? Get my Firebird back out here. Stealth is key.
Quantum drive is now off.
Let's let this pop in. Maybe it's there. Yeah. This says 40, but I think all the space stations are on the same server setup. I think the idea of the stealth Zeus is still a good one. I just don't have the stealth components. And I'm not interested in buying components until 411 comes back.
Shields are off.
I don't know if anybody's out here. It claims 40, but I don't know what this is shared with. I don't know if this is also including Terminus. Some of the outer ring space stations or what. I would love to actually get some content that tells me like what each of the servers covers. They must post it on Spectrum, I guess. I don't know. It'd be important to know, though. Because I would change my play to get me to a less crowded server. I really would. Alright, so let's bloop, bloop. And I'm going to hop out of here. Of course, we got the sound bug. I think the sound design in this game is really good, but the sound leveling is really bad. Like, some stuff is really loud, some stuff is really quiet. We don't have an easy way to turn the different sounds up and down. Alright, so let's get the Firebird out here. Yeah, that's destroyed.
Your insurance claim has been sent.
And then, what else do we want to fly around today? The Titan's not a bad option. And it's fast. It's just not... Let's bring this over from Checkmate.
Your insurance claim has been sent.
I don't need a bunch of stuff, honestly. Should we take the 400i? I never use it. Is it broken? I don't know how it is this patch. I guess there's only one way to find out.
Please visit us again.
Alright, let's go set our spawn here. Have I been to Gaslight? Do I have any gear here? I don't know. These are much smaller locations, so get around. Faster to get around. Yeah, so do note the elevator is still broken here, and you can get in fights. Yeah, I don't have anything here. Alright, let's get one of the shops after this. Load up on a little bit more ammo. Maybe this is part of the regen crisis. Let me make sure it took. Yep, Gaslight Clinic. Perfect. Hey, I want a med gun, please, while they still got them. What was that? You all saw that, right? Oh, it's that guy. That was a player trying to grief me. I feel like the discerning customer likes to be out here. But there's no contested zone. You know, nobody's out there hunting for that P8. I should do this one day, but not right now.
Can I get...
Yeah, do they sell Demicos here? Personal weapons, S30. No, they just have the stuff, so I'll buy it. Oh yeah, see that's the thing about being here is the inventory runs out super fast. Yeah, they just get shotguns and stuff. Alright. Don't care about any of that. Armor is the same everywhere, I think. They do have a big backpack, but I got a big backpack. Yeah, Inquisitor, Morningstar. The usual. Okay. Let's equip my med gun and ammo, additional ammo. Back to the hangar. Oh, we got our guns out, everybody. Why me? What did I do? I guess I had my gun out while I was coming out the elevator. Maybe? I don't know. Let's get inside. Get back to the hangar. Alright, send that off to pad 1. And we are going to try the 400i.
Welcome to the ASOS.
I don't even remember it. Let's look at this.
Please visit us again.
Where is it? Vehicles. What does the 400i even have these days? I haven't looked at this in a long time. Why is this like that? I've got the Fortuna livery by default. Alright, systems. So what is this? Size 2 cooler. Size 2 power plant. Size 2 drive. Size 3 shield generator. Okay. Interesting.
Welcome to the ASOS vehicle retrieval system.
Alright, let's bring the 400i up.
Your vehicle has been visited.
Nice chunky shield. I mean, it's not A-rated or anything, but it's certainly going to have more than the other ones. Thing is, I think the 400i is broken. Alright, what contracts? Yeah, these are like unchanging. Let's get into the Pyro 4 area And I'm going to stick to ground missions. This is cool. These little scrap salvage ones are interesting. All Wicklow stuff. It's funny, because even though I unlocked the other one, the Ryari people, but it was so broken I couldn't do it, which is annoying. I think we're okay. Been a long time since I've used this ship. It was badly broken for a while. I'm still not going to put a hover bike on it. I really do like this ship a lot. The Zeus is kind of eating its lunch for me because it's roughly the same size. Looks good. Doors are all animated. I don't have that bug anymore. Yeah, it's been a while. Wonder how this will fly compared to the Zeus, though. Maybe we'll have to check the power output here. Alright. So, we only have the one cooler. Alright, so I don't really need the guns to be that good. I guess we can do that. I don't know why I have 3 extra power. Alright, whatever. This will be...
Weapons active.
There we go, okay. So, shields full, weapons full, engines, whatever. This whole power management system is so bad right now. It's just so hard to figure out what's going on.
Launch complete. Landing gear.
Alright, so let's go to Pyro. That's Lambda. Let's go to Pyro 4. Or whatever, let's go to Pyro. I don't care.
Shield system inactive.
Feels pretty good so far.
Activated.
I do, you know, the Zeus has a little bit better visuals. And you're up at the front of the ship. But I love being able to see my own ship from the cockpit, you know? Nice bridge, if you will. Just look at all this stuff with the new Idris. Well, not new, but like the Idris getting a little update, and Polaris getting a little bit of a slowdown. Not that I'm complaining. I don't think the Polaris needs to be as fast as it is, but kind of nimble for a ship this big. It's almost as good as like a... Not quite as good as a Hercules, but it's like... Feels closer to it than it should. Oh man, we're going to come right in here and get a... Eclipse. Look at that. How's that for beautiful?
Quantum drive deactivated.
Alright, so we'll just wait right here for a minute. I don't need to actually spool up the drive. Now let's see what our mission list gives us. What I want to do is stuff at Pyro 4, Chala's Beach, remote outpost, looking for a little revenge. Is there like Kill the King anywhere? I don't know. Alright. Plug a trader, Chala's Beach. So let's get all these Chala's Beach ones. We'll just go spend all day there. Alright, this is Asteroid Cluster Outpost. That's Xenothreat. That's Pyro 5. 5A. Ashland. Okay, no. Anything that says Chala's Beach. Chala's Beach. Need a hitter. No. Ship, pilot. CFP takedown. Chala's Beach. I want to track that one, actually. Pilot, need a hitter. Keep space. Kill the king. 5A. He's somewhere else. This is a good one to do, though. So, I'll get that one anyway. And we'll just mark them all. Outpost, fallow field, asteroid cluster, data farm, Chala's Beach. Right, so these are all there, so we should just be able to spend all damn day at Chala's Beach. Remote outpost near Chala's Beach. I'm just going to stack them all and see what happens. Chances are I'm just going to fall through the planet. Chala's Beach, little revenge. Chala's Beach. How many of these are there? Good God. How many people are going to spawn? That's another thing. There's no way these are all going to work. Alright, let's go. Look, I have no radar. Chala's Beach is kind of PvP-ish. So we'll have to see if anybody's out there fighting. Or what the deal is. But we'll give it a try. Ba, 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 da, ba. If I can just get down there, that's all that really matters. I could spend the rest of the day just trucking around. So yeah, should have brought the pulse. Quade didn't bring the pulse. That was a bad idea. Would have been a good way to get around. Alright, so we're going to fly in normally. I'm going to light up like a Christmas tree for anybody who wants to find shit.
Quantum drive. Shield system active.
So the beach itself is like right there. Yeah, see Pileus. Shields are up, but he's looking a bit damaged. I don't know if we're going to get a fight on or not. A lot of ships out here. Don't love... Another Pileus, probably. Kraig. We'll see how we're doing. Technically, there's 41 people on this server, so... You know. See if No Gumo is going to be kind to me or not. Man, so much abandoned. Look, there's 2 fucking Pileus out here. Alright, well, we'll see what happens. Just gonna park it right down here. And pray for the best.
Engines inactive.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way we're gonna get out of here without being seen, given the ship this size. But I definitely should have brought the pulse. Hey, door. It's not the time to be messing around like this door. Howdy, sir. Oop. Can you open this, please? Come on. Come on, door.
Do you have your game volume on at all? I can't hear any sound from it.
Really?
Let me check my settings.
Leave the airlock open. I don't know if there's a...
Here, take out your gun and fire it. See if I can hear that. Might just be a low volume area. Oh yeah, I can hear it. Here,
Okay.
I think I can boost the volume of it.
Yeah, I mean, the ship has that landing bug where it, like, cuts out a lot of other audio. Alright, let me make sure, as I'm looking at all this stuff, that I have everything set up the way I want.
I found some setting the last time, which was I could adjust the volume of the stream versus your voice. Gotta figure out where that was. User volume. Oh, maybe I pump up. No. Oh, I think I know. It was under settings.
Da-da-da. I've made the cardinal error of not bringing a hover bike again. So hopefully nobody blows my ship up. Ooh, I like that guy's helmet. I'm gonna take that. It's just got a scalpel. What? Oh, behind me. Oh, they're really close. Let's just spray it, right? Alright, there's one accomplished. Oh, look at this outfit. That's cool. Alright, what are you wearing? Silverton jacket. Oh, and he's got armor? These jerks. These jerks and their cheating ways. Alright. I do take a couple of
Here it
those.
is.
Yeah, this helmet's cool. Chrome dome headgear. Sounds good to me, boss. Look around real quick for lootables. Continue on.
And now I can hear you breathing even.
There you go. Yeah, I put on some heavy armor. Because some of these planets... So I went out to Pyro 5/4. I don't know if you could see it here, but it's this gas giant. It's 5,
yeah.
and then 4 orbits it along with several moons. And nobody likes to come out here too much, so that's kind of why I've been... So, everywhere else I go, I get killed. You're going to have some ammo for me. Ooh, Night Stalker. No loot crates around, that's alright. Let's look at our accepted missions here. I really want to do this, like, data farm one. It's probably going to be back at the main settlement. It's only 4 kilometers. See, that's why I should have brought the hover bike.
Is
Not
this
thinking
the
clearly.
411 preview or just
Just
regular
live.
one?
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of keep working on my rep a little bit. The Headhunters. Do you have anything I want? Do you have any attachments? I don't think so. All right. Well, nobody's come and blown me up recently. There were a lot of abandoned ships over there at the beach. This is where I was like, oh, come on. I brought the 400i. Has that awesome little garage in the front where I could have put a hover bike. Just parked it in one spot and trucked around on the bike. Not thinking clearly.
Yeah, back when I played last, there was no. Yeah, it had that hover bike hangar, but you couldn't fit anything in it.
They've well, they released all their X1 variants, the ones that are designed for this
Yep.
thing, and the Pulse, which is probably the best option of them all because it's so tiny and fast. I'm gonna
Yeah,
close
used to be
this.
like the Nox was the smallest, and people were trying to stuff that one in. I think, if I remember right, if you're really, really careful and spent like 20 minutes, janking it in, you could get it, to go in. But then there was a good chance when you got to your location, it had, glitched out, and you left it along the way, in space someplace.
Active. Launch complete.
So let's just cruise.
Yeah, I've never been to
Treetops.
this location before.
Yeah, it's really nice. And
Yeah, this was the pretty one rather than the. Actually, this is this the same one as like that has all the yellow flowers and stuff?
it's not. So Pyro 4 is pretty nice. That's Pyro 3 is Bloom, which is definitely a nice one. This is probably a close runner-up. All right, I think this is probably good. So I'll check out this little outpost and not get shot by turrets. How about that? And hopefully ignored by players.
Landing complete.
But yeah, I was looking at the missions, and there's like 8 or 9 missions just... Come on, door. 8 or 9 missions just for this location. I was like, alright, this is pretty nice. We'll see how many of them work. Yeah, the 400i's been super bugged for a lot of patches, so I haven't flown it much. So I was glad to get that out. So I think that will actually be my daily driver for a while when, like, the game goes live and we're wandering off into the wilderness on our own.
I always thought it had a lot of potential. I think back when I was playing it hadn't been out that long, and it was surprisingly not buggy, except for you couldn't use the hangar at all, or the little. It has a separate like cargo bay hangar, right, with an elevator.
Yep.
If I remember right. Yeah, it was pretty stable for like a new ship that was kind of with that surprise launch where they tell you about it as it's releasing.
How am I not
Probably the
hitting this
Raft
guy?
was the worst one where they did that, where it came out and it was just. There's another one I thought, oh, this is a cool ship, one that you'd like to have, but it was so buggy for such a long time. I remember like when it first came out, there was like a 10% chance you could use the elevator to get in it.
That was my my famous intro where the elevator killed me. And I just gave up one day, and I came back the next day and pretended that I just, like, was rescued by the guy who hangs out in the cargo shop. And I was like, oh, what happened to me? Oh, and I, like, staged some med pens around me and stuff. Right. It's just... I like how I'm not hostile with CFP, even though I'm just, like, out here murdering these guys. There we go. Now I'm a bad guy. But yeah, look at this. Long-range sniper shots. Super valuable.
Yeah.
Finally. Yeah, this is a really nice planet. It gets real cold at night. I was playing out here with Selena a bunch. Well, not a bunch. I had like 3 times, but the game was super buggy. But I only had medium armor, so I'd start to freeze to death doing some of these like little remote outposts and stuff. And that got to be interesting. I mean, I'm supposed to be trespassing. I'm here to murder everybody. Let's check our lootable.
Now, is that trespassing because of you or your ship?
Yeah, I'm not sure, because, like, you'd get this in bunkers, right? And then in a bunker, you'd get, like, the trespassing sign after you finish the mission.
Yep.
Oh. Little
As I just
physics.
noticed it. I wonder if it's like a
That
timed
guy's
mission on purpose.
Yellow Morisov. No, I think it just... I must have done something good for the Citizens for Prosperity to where they didn't hate me again. And so, as soon as I shot that guy, you saw it came up and said trespassing. It switched from green to... Ooh. It's upstairs.
But if you like parked your ship far enough away and like you said like hover biked in, you might not have got that.
Yeah,
I was trying to
potentially.
figure out if you how far away with the sniper can you like stealth snipe somebody and not ruin your reputation because no one saw you, or is it just the satellite sees you so there's no such thing as
Yeah,
stealth
I
sniping?
don't know the answer to that for sure. Okay, don't shoot me while I'm animated. Don't shoot me while I'm doing the... Is that everybody up here? I have a feeling I have a mission to kill these guys, because I just took a bunch. Like, you saw me, I sniped this one guy and got a complete, so I'm guessing that's the
Just
case.
shoot first, ask questions later.
Huh, new objective. There's the server racks. Yeah, I'm doing Headhunters missions. I'm not out here making friends. Alright, I want this guy's yellow Sov armor. Then I'll go inside and mess them up. Hey, it looks pretty slick.
Oh yeah, it's a shade I've never seen.
Come on, load up.
Yeah, the fanciest one I think they had of that armor was like the terracotta.
Yeah, so this is more solid. It just says SH core. Let's see. Is any of this? No, this is all like light armor. You can find a full set. You just have to like look on different guys. Will have it. Is this suitable? Let's go inside. Oh, there's server racks out here. What do you know? Would not have expected that to be this far out. 3 pops. I think. Right.
Well, you're destroying server racks. Completed.
Yeah, I don't know why it just told me to cut the power and I got that mission done. My guess is there are other players around, so they might be completing some of my objectives for me. Alright, let's repool ammo. Yeah, see, like, there's supposed to be a sound that goes with this, and it's not playing it. Oh, look, you're back again. Mostly just looking for weapons with attachments, but let's go inside. See if there's anything cool for me here. Whoop. Alright, just doing some war crimes. / shopping. Ooh, that looks nice. I think I just got the other version of that, though. This is already working better than the other day I played, and a lot of this stuff with, I like your hat. Therefore, I'm going to murder you and take it.
It just kind of justifies you shooting him.
Yeah. Hold on a sec. Why do you have a 4x scope on this gun? Is it special? What is that? Just a Tau Plus? Alright, I got a lot of those. Drop that. Pick up my P4 again. Trusty P4 has been good in every situation. Alright, and I do need to check these guys for your Citadel core. Nope, not what we want.
Oh, my Inquisition armor?
Yeah.
All of
I think you're right, it's just totally out from the loot tables, but it's fun to check. Is there a guy here again? Yes, there is. Ooh, I want his helmet. Look at that. That's a cool helmet.
Yeah, I looked at that item finder site. Just trying to remember some of like the tools
Yep.
I was using. But it's what's someone coming in?
Can't tell if that's a player. It was flying weird, so I'm guessing it might be NPCs. Oh well, we'll have to find it. Yeah, we'll have to find a ship.
Yep, that was like
Oh well,
what's he shooting at?
my ship.
Oh, your ship.
This is the other reason I should have had a hover bike. Whatever. Yeah, he's flying dumb, shooting dumb, so I'm guessing he's just a NPC. If I had a railgun, oh well. Alright, let's
Is that the same
go.
guy that keeps resurrecting?
Yeah, it's that spawn location just keeps repopping every time. Check this guy right here. I think he had that same helmet I really like. But there's a bunch of ships around, so I'm just going to go over to Chalice Beach and see if I can find one. Since I got to be there. A stone skin. I don't want that crap. Coming out here with some stone skin. Honestly, he may not even kill me. He might just crash himself. I don't mind a little walk. Actually, let's check our missions. Because maybe... These are all Chalice Beach, which I was really excited about. So, track this one. Alright, so he's in that same spot. Track this one. This is at a remote outpost near Chalice Beach. That's 40 gigameters away. Okay, so that's wrong. Yeah, this guy's not even hitting me half the time. I bet we survive. Alright, so good to remember that this one's incorrect. We already saw the data farm. Track this one. This looks like it's on another planet, but it's close. I thought this says Chalice. Quade, what are you accepting these days? Little revenge, Chalice Beach. Yeah, look, see, these are saying they're all Chalice Beach, but they're, like, super far away. This is why some of these missions are just totally broken. It's like, that's clearly at a completely different planet. This one, on the other hand, is 4 kilometers out there. Alright, so we'll go do these ones. So they're in the same spot. Might just abandon the others. Let's head off for a nice jog. Sorry, I wish we had an auto run key. How you been, Kraig?
Trying to look how many people on the server. I don't know where to look in the.
Oh, it's like the middle line. So it says Shard 529, server 42. Yeah.
It's too fuzzy with the. With,
Yeah, this guy's just gonna hit the ground. Not gonna worry about him. But I think the way Pyro's split up is this would be everything outside of the like core 3 planets as a server. So this would include all of Terminus, all these other little moons, and the space stations out here, I think. Some bloody texture that didn't load in. Maybe I can find and steal a hover bike out here.
I was gonna ask you what GPU are you? Where's my mic? What GPU are you using?
I
Yours
mean,
like a 3060.
Yeah, I have a 3060 Ti, so it's got a little bit more RAM, which is nice.
How much
And then,
video RAM? It's like 12.
yeah, it's 12. Or no, yeah, I think it's 12, because the regular one's 8. Oop, something blew up. Is that my ship now? Oh, the AI just bugged out. See, that's fine. It doesn't... The AI is so bad still. The ground AI is getting better. But the ships are not challenging.
Yeah, I was waiting to. In fact, I was just getting to the point where I was gonna buy my new GPU when my eyes turned on me. So I was just looking, and I could get a. I was thinking of getting a 3060 with 12 gigabytes because you can get them for like only like $300.
I mean, I do run into spots where I wish I had like 16 gigs or more, and there's some good AMD options, but I don't know if you saw that video I linked yesterday. It's got some good stuff about the upscaling.
Yep.
And even older cards seem to do well now with the DLSS. I'm only at 1440p, so I'm not upscaling. Not sure how they would do it 4K. Alright. We are
Yeah, the card I
basically
have now
there.
can't do DLSS because it's I think those are like the 20 series and up, so you have to be like the 20, 30, 40, 50s.
Yeah. Alright, who's
That was my original
around?
plan. I think was to get a 30 series card because I think the 40 series had just came out, so I was going to get a 30 series because they were coming down in the price faster, and then I was going to build a whole new gaming rig and then I could use that 30 series card for a little, and then I was going to buy a 50 series card, thinking that would be like 2 years down the line, and then I could kind of boost that up.
Yeah, I rebuilt everything. So this GPU I kept, and like my SSD and stuff I kept, but my motherboard I swapped out
Yep.
2 years ago now, or a year and a half ago. And I got a new RAM and new processor. So I've got a what is it, the 9800 X3D? Because apparently all that extra cache is really helpful for
Yep.
Star Citizen. Alright, so this way, and then I think the other guy to kill was down there. Yeah, it looks like there's a ship I can steal. He hasn't moved since we got here, so I'm thinking he's abandoned. We'll see. I probably could have parked closer. Oh well. I do enjoy the views.
Yeah, we get to check out the scenery.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, I always forget to look at the AMD graphics cards. Because one thing I wanted to do is that I was looking at cards that were 12 gigabytes or over. So I thought that would allow me to play with some.
Do you do have a 4K monitor that you play on?
Yeah.
Yeah, then I would definitely prioritize more VRAM. I mean, you can upscale and that fixes it somewhat, but I think part of it is I don't have that big of a monitor.
I was stretching my old card, so there's like 3 like DLS type of technologies, and my card could do 2 of them, but not DLSS. There's like an AMD version, and there's a like a more generic version. But I think I was playing it.
And one thing you might look into, because there's a 3060, a 3060 Ti, and then they made a 3060 Ti Super, I think they called it. So there might even be like a slight bump above that with more VRAM or like faster. I don't know how they differentiate, but that might be another way to go too. There may be some of those 3000 series that are... I know they started doing that with the 4000. I just don't remember when. I don't remember if the 3000 had it or not.
Yeah, I just did a quick look once, and I think I just selected 12 gigabytes, but I wanted to go back and select like 12 gigabytes and above, and then kind of sort by price and see what comes up.
Everybody's actually out here. That's good.
Yeah, I think when I was kind of looking into specing my system, like was it like 2 years ago? It was I was looking for the first time ever, yeah, going like AMD for the CPU. I think all the systems I've ever built have always been Intel. I was looking at possibly going all AMD rather than Intel NVIDIA.
That 10-pound 42 channel does a lot of testing of different setups, so he's got some good... I mean, it's hard too because, like, if he made something 5 months ago, there have been a lot of changes.
Yep.
But, yeah, he definitely has some good data on the different cards and what matters based on what resolution or if you're upscaling. Anybody home? Doesn't look like it. So these server racks are in the basement, it looks like. Yeah. I don't think I've been in a building like this recently. Bootable? No. I don't know. I will say Star Citizen is probably about the best it's been since I've started playing. Sure, there's still bugs and problems, but like it is
video on YouTube
really solid.
That. Oh, and that Space Tomato guy.
Yeah.
He was saying like this is probably the best Star Citizen has ever been. And that's what the title of the video was. I haven't watched it. But yeah, it looked kind of like it. It's like they got a good, and even with like 411, because they're adding more missions. So this has the, Pyro finally came in, and they're adding a lot of missions. So there's lots of things to do.
It's like that machine was made. I'm so paranoid in Pyro. Yeah, these are stuff you'll be able to repair, right? You can turn the power on or off. And, like, it doesn't do anything right now, but, like, you can, replace fuses and things. So these are all missions that they used to have that didn't work for some reason, and now they're coming back better. What is this? An apron?
Yeah, I think I saw a guy talk about that that tower that we saw. You're climbing up that tower and it had like a button to take off the relay, but there's some mission that goes with that, but he just mentioned it and he wasn't doing that mission. So I couldn't tell if it was like, like you said, like a broken mission or one where they added the button but not the mission yet. But he seemed to know the name of the mission.
That's cool. I'll show you my favorite thing, and there's like one of these on each of the main planets. It's this really cool sunken in... I don't know if I went to one of these while you were watching last time. Landing pads, they look like they're straight out of Star Wars.
Oh,
And
yeah,
they actually have refuel, repair, and rearm. You could fit up to like a Hercules in here. nobody parks here because like then somebody just comes and blows you up. But like it's just a really cool vibe. Like it's this landing pad that's like below ground. It's got some stuff underneath that we'll go check out.
Does it have like cargo elevators?
There's some nearby, so like this would be more for rearm repair. And there's not a lot of. Originally, these were going to be the only places you could do it, and then they made the space stations a little more fully featured.
Yeah, cool.
And then you have like this neat little underground area. I don't know if there's guys in here or not. Might be lootables in here too. No, no luck.
Every once in a while, I want to warn you, Quade, you're missing a box, but then I figure out. Oh,
This might be real. Yes.
You pointed, yeah, like,
What do we got? Pembroke helmet,
Yeah, so-
Novikov helmet. I'll take the full. What do I want, Novikov or Pembroke? Probably Pembroke. Algold will like that yellow helmet. If I can ever talk him into playing again. Here we go. Here's something, right? He's lootable? No? I never know what's lootable now, for exactly that reason.
yeah. I think that's the most frustrating thing I've seen in just watching you play so far is these fake loot boxes.
Well, then there's some that are like
neat,
completely different when you go to like contested zones and stuff. There's just whole new loot boxes they've made. Like it's this stuff, right? Like this is a weapon loot box anywhere
Yep.
else. But here they're just nothing. Alright, let's get this servers done.
You don't want your games to, purposely frustrate you. Like
I
that.
know. And you're having to check every little box. We gotta see if we can find a mule or something for that 4-kilometer drive we gotta do next. Oh, there's one. Alright, I do want the SH helmet, so I'm gonna swap a few of these things out. Don't care.
What size backpack
And-
do you have?
A large.
Oh yeah, 150K.
Yeah, and then those big bulbous ones that come with like the Pembroke suits can hold I think 180.
Yep.
I do like these helmets. How big is the Pyro multi-tool? Almost as big as a helmet. Alright, I don't need that many of these. Come on, so close. Really? Alright, undersuit can go away. There we go. Lomorisov helmets that have some unique Pyro
Do the hover
only.
bikes have storage?
What's that?
Do the hover bikes have storage?
They do. And that would be another smart thing for me to do, wouldn't it? I think I'd learn.
Yeah, I
love
think they
see-
just had added storage to like those Cyclones and the STV, but the hover bikes didn't have them yet.
I'll have to
They
look
just had like
around.
that internal storage where you just kind of clicked on them, which it might have
Yeah.
gone away now.
See what they
Has that
sell
all
here.
been physicalized?
10 Atlassian, that's a pretty good haul. I mean, I could technically do it in my 400i. It has enough storage space. I just don't know where to sell it offhand. Oh wait, it's upstairs. Yeah, they bought a bunch of new commodities in with Pyro, and I don't quite know where they all go.
Okay, which one's the best?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's cool. You could like see a ship parked down in there.
Yep. Yeah, like is this
Wow.
that beach place that?
Yeah, so this is the main settlement at Chawla's Beach. So you can see
Yeah,
there's
it's a-
like the ocean out there. And then there's a lot of outlying settlements, as we saw coming in. Now, what I want to look around for before we go is like a shop. Because I realized, and I don't have it on me, but I realized you could buy those cool Mohawk skull helmets. It's like, oh, that looks like a good option. So I picked up a few at an outpost. I want to see if there's any unique loot to any of these spots, or unique purchasables. Also, I need to find a door. There it is. Alright, final server racks. Bloop. Bloop. Is this lootable? No. Boo. Alright. Now there were 2 more missions left. One was 4 kilometers away and one was just outside the main settlement. Let's go. Yep, my ship is still there. This one? Yes, 500 meters away. All right. I'm just glad I landed and it was daytime. Gotta be a shop somewhere. Maybe not. Maybe I'm not that lucky.
What's that?
It's like a Aurora of some sort.
Yep.
He's inside, so we'll have to get over there. Can we swim now? I don't remember. But I
Was it
think
like
we're...
a pond.
Yeah, or like a little tidal pool or something. Find out. Maybe I'll steal this
Looks kind
Aurora.
of square though, like a industrial like pond. Oh, look at this seaweed.
Whoop. See, we're in a spacesuit, so we can, by extension,
Yeah.
just run effortlessly underwater up the other side. All right, good to know.
With built-in scuba tanks.
Yeah. Because underwater and outer space are the same thing. Oh yeah, and look, they got ripples. Water deformation stuff going on. It's hard to see because it's dark, but...
I think that's the mistake that the Titan submarine designer made.
Right.
Compression and expansion were like the same kind of forces for.
What are
carbon
you,
fiber.
some kind of physics engineer? I don't need that learning. I'm rich. Oh, there's an arrow. We could test out whether breaking into the cockpit is a thing.
I know not too many people were really outraged by that because it was just rich people dying. It's like, yeah, but they almost deserve it.
Well, it'd be different if he did everything right and it was just a tragic death. But it was like, oh, a lot of people warned you this was a bad idea and you did it anyway. Like, okay.
Yep. Kind of like the terror.
Yeah. Whoop. Oh no. Woo.
Yeah, the thing I've been enjoying lately is like Trump saying like, yeah, we're talking to the Chinese meetings every day, and it's like, well, the Chinese just posted that they haven't talked to you once and they're not going to. It's like, no, we're talking to them. Like,
What is
I like
this?
when someone lies and then gets called out on it right to their
Yeah.
face. That's always good.
Like, that thing you said is just not true. Should probably not sit here eating lasers, but...
Can you buy from the shop if everybody's dead?
That would be an awesome balance pass. I like that I'm just going negative on my timer, too, my trespassing timer. Alright, what I want to see is, do these guys have any cool attachments that are hard... Somebody's just unloading out there. Alright, let's, a little bit of that. This. A little bit of this. Oh wait, I have a laser pointer on this gun. Hey. How great is that? You know what? I like your shirt. You can live. Slay's just over here having a drink. And none of these are coming in with attachments, sadly. This guy's a big guy. He's got big armor. This is the, what is that? Citadel. You know what? My backpack is full anyway. I don't think I need to be murder shopping anymore.
So who from PL still playing Star Citizen?
I mean, technically, the most recent group thing we had was Brevity, Kenai, and Algold, and Mantis. Mantis is the only one who really hops on every so often.
Yep.
But that's also because we just found some other games to play in the meantime, and it was really buggy
Yeah.
through, like, the holidays. Open
Well,
storage.
it sounds like in Brevity sounds like he's been busy. You know, kind of like finishing up
Yeah.
his degree and stuff.
Accepted. Okay, I think this one was close by. Yes, 3.5 kilometers. All right, let's get in that Aurora. Maybe we'll have to dogfight a Cutlass with it. Oh, it's already open for us. How nice. Come on. Oop. Ooh. Hello? On the roof, maybe?
I was hoping that was the owner.
That'd be
Well, I
funny.
think I just saw his headlamp.
Well, get him this way.
Welcome to Robert Space Industries.
Why are your shields
That's
off?
like
System
the
check.
noob move is leaving your door open, but since he's in a Aurora, that's a noob ship.
Takeoff complete.
Right down there. No, not my ship.
Raised.
I thought I saw like a helmet light, you know, kind of looking around.
There he is. Got him. I think. Is he dead? Nope. Love when they can tolerate ship weapon blasts. Alright. Well, this Aurora is ours for now. Ooh, we are closer to the ground than I was prepared for.
Almost the Aura is almost a hover bike.
Yeah, really.
And now you have extra storage.
Whoop.
Oh,
Are my gear down? I can't even tell with this ship. I think so.
no, it's up.
Engines are off.
Plus, I don't care much. These animations are killer, though. Hey, see, that's perfect. Look, I can get right down on this rock. Let's go find and murder everybody. I love seeing all these planets around. It's a lot of. That's why I like Crusader a lot, because you can always see the planets that your Crusader's always rising or setting somewhere. Or Yella has the rings. It's always just a pretty area. Oh, hey guys. No. Don't glitch out on me. Okay, that worked. My gun work. Alright, now we're talking. So that didn't kill anybody, that just knocked him down. That just knocked these guys down. Look. That's pretty funny. All that grenade, it just blew some guy down the hill. Do like a good coda. Cool. Still that cutlass flying around, yeah.
Yeah, it's one change that 411 that I'm not sure I'm really happy with. Is we have to use med gun or pistol. I think if they would have let you choose 2 out of the 3, med gun, pistol, or multi-tool, I would have been happy with that. But I like the med gun and I like the pistol.
Yeah, I think the idea that we're going to constantly be swapping multi-tools, you know, like, you're either having to get the attachments. Alright, there they all are. This one was trying to sneak up behind me.
Unless they're adding more utility things, I think now you have a slot on your character that is multi-tool only. They're kind of forcing you to carry it or have nothing. So yeah, it almost seems like there's going to be more attachments coming. Like for these river missions, you'll need a wrench attachment to your multi-tool, so you can throw a wrench in the server.
Right. I feel like you
I
should
guess
just be
that'll
able
be
to
alright.
percussion adjust everything. Just be like, oh, it's a rubber mallet. Alright, we're going to use that to fix the servers. Alright, we did it, everybody. We did it. All these other missions are broken. We could try to go where they are. I'd rather stick around this area. The other reason doing this repooling is helpful is it consolidates the ammo and saves a little space in the backpack. So now we're down to 85% full. Try to get a little more loot if we want it. You can live. At least we're not standing on chairs, we're standing on beds.
Seeing that guy up on the furniture brought back some nostalgia.
Yeah. Oh, see, I should just be able to get the spade and hit people with it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do like an arc light. Can we just store that?
Yeah, they don't have any big melee weapons. It's just knives only.
The only close thing they've done is, remember we went in Wicklow and he had those katanas? And they teased that maybe that would be a thing.
Oh, kind of like a longer sword.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, that'd be fun, I guess. Katanas are cool. Ooh, loot box? Yeah. Lucky me. Yeah, he's got all these knives. I don't need any of that stuff. I want the good loot.
I like the games that add like the two-handed melee weapons, like big axes and sledgehammers and things like that.
Yeah.
Shovels.
More than anything, I want some weapon attachments for the barrel. I don't think I'm going to get that lucky. Anything in here? Just the pantry. Yeah, I'd love if a lot of this stuff became functional down the line. You could do like engineering and cooking and really just go homesteading out in the wilderness.
Oh yeah, they're gonna have to add a whole bunch of utility devices for engineering. And that doesn't make as much sense on like a multi-tool. Yep, gonna have to add like some kind of engineering utility device.
Right?
You know, still might have like attachments like like a screwdriver that's got like multiple heads on it. So you can see some like engineering tool that it's got 5 or 10 attachments.
A space Swiss Army knife. Hey, that's pretty nice. You can go all the way up here. Alright, so it doesn't look like my ship's destroyed. I can't tell if that's an outpost or that cutlass.
It's your emergency backup Aurora now, so.
Yeah. I mean, persistence is cool in that way, right? You can find ships to escape with. I feel like more often than not, I come to Pyro and end up having to find a way to get creative and get off the planet. Or Alt F4 and be done for the day. Just cheese my stuff back to the space station. Oh, I wish I could, like, break this glass and drop in. Mission Impossible style.
Yep.
One day. After the bedsheet deformation physics pass. It's just... Oop. Oh, that was lucky. I did not know those were down there. Right. Loot. Back to the Aurora. Now, one of these was at a close-ish planet. We can do that one. Let's see which one is next. That's 40 million. No thanks. This one is... Yeah, that's close. Whatever that planet is. Alright, we'll fly there. We just take the Aurora. That grenade throw is pretty funny. The fact that it hit him and they all went flying, he just got up and started shooting me again. It's like, what good are these things if that's how this acts? I also learned there's a
You know,
bug. Go ahead.
I was saying, it always takes me off guard when you use the grenade, because it's back in my day, it was, you know, they would stick to your hand 90% of the time.
They're
learn
fairly
never to ever
reliable
use
now. Here's a question: can I breathe on this planet? Not off. All right, I'm not suffocating. All right, let's eat and drink then.
Isn't there a grenade launcher gun?
There is. They had to nerf it though, because it's just they did it this patch with the release of the Hathor sites. I guess they felt like everybody would just constantly be grenade launchering around there all day, clearing out enemies too easily and that kind of thing. Oh. Got it. I got it. All right, we're on. Can never close this door.
Or you can just try putting it on the landing gear next
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
But that's no fun.
Engines are on.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Gear deployed.
David Kite. That'd be a player. Oh wait, that's the NPC.
Docking request initiated. Docking unavailable.
So do I just not have shields?
Shields are on.
There we go. It's fine, let's just go to my ship. I think it's not blowed up. Yeah, it looks okay.
Docking.
Oh yeah, that's that Cutlass Black still there.
It's there, but it's gone non-hostile. It's just sitting there doing nothing. That's what people are saying. You've got all these videos of people stealing Idrises, and it turns out that they're probably just waiting long enough for the AI to go defunct and boarding it. Because, like, none of the AI survives more than about a 3 or 4 minute encounter. Yeah, we were watching him fly around, and, like, he was shooting the hill the whole time. He wasn't even really hitting me. So I doubt I have any significant damage. That's closed.
Oh, but you can use that sunken pad to repair.
Well, that is true.
Dude,
I'm not
that'd be a
trespassing
bonus.
anymore, so I can probably fly right in there. Let's do it. That's actually kind of fun. I like that idea. I haven't done that really before.
Engines active.
Let's go to the beach.
Yeah, I wanted to see this place. This is perfect. Oh,
Nope.
it's
I am
trespassing
trespassing.
it.
Okay, we'll be below ground for a hot minute. Whoa! What is that all about? See those explosions?
Yeah, like 2 separate ones
Yeah.
that were enough apart that it couldn't be a single player.
I don't think you're going to fit a
Oh, yeah,
Hercules in here. Maybe I was wrong about that speed. Or that size, I mean.
Yep. I was gonna say this gives me a better idea of what the scale was.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, even though they hate you, they'll still work on your ship. That's
Yeah, exactly. Is my helmet on? My helmet light is on, isn't it? Hate doing that, but I think that's whatever.
like how your thrusters are kind of keeping you down.
Launch complete.
Alright, let's see if we can avoid getting shot at. I'm tempted to go, like, try to loot these 2 Polarises that are just sitting out here abandoned, but probably not a good idea.
Shield system inactive.
Let's just fly to the next place. Come on. Boost. Yeah, I don't know. I just love this game. It's just such a great way to move around and do things, and you have your ship and your universe, and it's all sorts of random crap happens to you all the time. Really hard to replicate in, I mean, Elite got close, right? Elite was pretty good for a while. I hear it's gotten better. Just unwilling to find out myself.
Yeah, that's exactly my emotions about it. I actually have seen some comments and some videos saying from that Obsidian Ant saying that it's at least from the titles of the videos it looks like it's improved a lot, but
Quantum drive deactivated.
Oh, look at that. It moved it. Or did it change my mission? This happens sometimes too. It changes the contract you're tracking. Yeah.
yeah, because one thing I wanted to do in Elite was to go to some star system and build a like a little station out there. I guess you could do that now, but
It's just a massive hauling grind, apparently. Sort of Blammo was doing that for the PL faction.
I was
Yeah.
disappointed in when they did the carriers. They talked about that for such a long time, and they did like 3 different versions of what they were gonna be, and ended up with the version that I thought was the worst of how they ever described them.
I don't know. And I guess they introduced a bunch of stuff that just remained very broken. So like they completely overhauled power play and made it a lot more like BGS, which like I wouldn't be opposed to. But like a lot of the systems don't work. A lot of the ways it calculates things are just like way off. Uh, things they say like, oh, it should work like this, but like it clearly does not. And then they tell FD, and FD's like, oh no, it works like that. They're like, literally, the math that we just showed you day after day of tracking these changes says it doesn't work that way. Can you tell us more? And they're like, no, you have to figure out how to make it work. It's like that kind of, and that was like their classic
Well, it
sort of
reminds
way
me of
of
Ocean
being.
would do that. You'd give out, you'd collect all this data and and the math and prove that something was happening. In fact, him and Kenai would do that, because they knew power play math so well.
Yeah.
But they'd figure out, because something would happen and they'd prove it in all the math and put all this packet together for them to say, here's exactly what's happening. It's like, we don't believe you or something was their answer.
Like, we don't
Well,
believe
we
you or
believe
we
you,
don't
but we're
care.
not going to fix it. Yep.
Right. Fixing
There's
it would
only
prove too complicated.
there's 2% of the player base does power play, so we're not interested.
I need to see if they put local storage in this ship, because I would love to loot. Let's see if it's down here. Yes. All right.
And the thing that's hard to do, and it's something that I didn't think was going to be as important, but with Elite, how they kind of teleport you from your cockpit into walking.
Yep.
They kind of have those kind of breaks, like that kind of like a load screen, and I and, and I'd think that you'd get bored with kind of walking the same path every time, but in my Caterpillar, which had quite a long
Oh yeah, it's very windy.
trek from the cockpit down, is I never got tired of it,
Yeah, I
and
don't
I wait almost look forward
mind.
to it.
Yeah, I agree. You get in a big ship or even a little one like the 400 I's not that big. It's a pretty direct path, but you got some layers to it. You got some doors.
Yep.
You got some rooms that like, oh, I need storage right now, so I'm going to use it.
And Elite kind of
What are we
used to
looking at
brag
here?
about when they came out with Horizons. They had that no load screen between the orbit and your planet. but it was kind of it was the worst implementation of doing that that you could still justify that sentence.
Yeah.
Where you kind of come into a spot and then the computer takes over and you can't interact with it for a while, for like 2 minutes,
Right.
and then you pop out and you can fly again. And it's like, okay, yeah, it never faded to black, but it was as close to fade to black as you could get.
Yeah, I mean, it was like the old elevator trick where the elevator's your load screen, right? It's like,
Yep.
oh, okay, I'm still not playing. I'm still on, like, rails here.
But yeah, that was good. You know, 15 years ago, that was a good thing
Yeah,
to do.
right, when Mass Effect launched in, 2005 or whatever it was.
Yep.
I don't see anybody around here. I'm a little worried my guy didn't spawn, but we'll find out. I guess I could have
I think
landed
that's
on this
why
pad after all.
I think that's that's some of the secret sauce of why Star Citizen, kind of why you can get addicted to it is they actually have done a good job of allowing you to kind of immerse yourself in it. I even enjoy just like watching you play. I'm not even playing, but it's
Yeah, I love watching a good Star Citizen video. I haven't watched too many people live stream, but every once in a while I do, and it stays engaging. Whoa. This way. I think nobody's here, though. That would include no loot. Yeah. Yeah? Let's go find this guy if he indeed exists. Oh, here's somebody.
laid out there planking.
Maybe we had some handcuffs. They used to do a really good job at using the environment to tell stories, and I feel like that kind of went by the wayside somewhat. Like the remember when they added those reclaimer missions, and one of them was like they were harvesting people's organs and stuff inside of it. I forget what that mission was called now, but like it was really cool because you could, like, they didn't tell you in the mission. You just had to go in there and avoid the guards or kill them, and then get this box of medical supplies. And it's like this bloody box that squishes when you move with it. But you're in there and there's like dead people and like clearly a backroom surgical operation going on. It's like, yeah, okay, that's pretty cool.
So like what the Bethesda was always good at that, where you go to a location and they tell you a nice little story, but all just with prop placement.
Ooh. And
So it's
So-
kind of a different type of looting mechanic. It's like you're kind of collecting information to solve the mystery rather than collecting armor.
I'm stuck. Our guy's here. Just up in the rocks. That's sneaky. Chest injury, too. Why would this guy be all the way down here? Maybe he slid down the mountain? Alright. Mission accomplished.
Kill the king.
You'll notice the sound is a little different. They finally made it so when you're on like a planet without atmosphere, you get, more muted sounds, or less atmosphere, I should say. What is it? PAB core? I don't care about that. I like these outfits, though. What does he have? Just a...
Yeah, one of the guys you killed was back when you were like chock full. He had like a really cool, like red and black kind of like long coat.
Who's shooting me? Yeah. Who is out here causing me problems? That guy just shot me and died in the fire. You see that? He was coming after me and he got in the fire and died.
Oh,
Alright, you might have something I want.
yeah, he tricked AU to get into the fire pit on in Orson. We were like waiting for the siege of Orson to start, and so we were up in that little bar that has the outdoor bar with the fire pit. And I forgot how I did it, but I tricked him to stand in it, and he was surprised that he started taking damage.
That's an Odyssey executive undersuit. Can I just do this? No, okay, I'm gonna take everything off of this guy. Now? Yeah. Everybody loves a good executive undersuit.
Well, that's the black and gold one.
Yeah.
I played one patch where they left it in his loot, but then they removed it, at the next patch. But I got one, and I was all proud of it. But I was so proud of it, I could never wear it.
Well, now, until they get the real Tier 0 loot implemented, now I can take your shirt. Looking forward to Starwear. I really want to do what these guys do, where you can layer, like, jackets on top of armor and stuff. I think it's pretty cool. Somebody's been here. Who killed all these guys? You have... Just wearing Arl things. Hey, stabilizer, I'll take it. You can hear how muffled everything is. It kind of makes it easier for them to sneak up on me, too. Might be time to go back to station after this. What's down here? One of these planets has these spots where they have, like, deep caves. I think this is just a little underground spot, unfortunately. But, like, you'd go down something like this in the wreck, and it'd just be, like, a deep, deep underground cave for you to, like, explore and find crap in.
That last stream you did I was on, we found that the cave with the kind of like building down in.
Oh, yeah, like a bunker almost.
Yeah, you came across like with walls and a door.
It was weird. All those guys were, like, up here. Alright, we'll kind of come around the outside on the right here. And get back to the ship and back to Gaslight. Whoa. That looks like a terrain problem.
Yeah, or it's that deep cave you were looking for.
Right, yeah. Somewhere I'll never get out of. Planet has acne scars. Anybody around?
I used to play that KSP game, the Kerbal Space Program, and one of the Mercury kind of moon that they had, the one that was closest to their sun. They had like a train problem where it was, I think, right at the North Pole. The train kind of, went to like 0 height, so it kind of created a little hole like that, and it became so like beloved they kept it as a permanent feature
Oh, neat.
called the
Look.
bowl hole, because I think the the moon was the mole versus it was like the mole hole. And you could actually like fly it down into it, and you know it kind of went down to a point, so you could only get so far down before the walls would hit you.
That's what I like about the storytelling is the graves.
Oh,
That's not what
dead.
it says here, but yeah, see they got like all these graves out here. Pretty, I mean that right? That's what this is. It's totally that.
Yep.
It's kind of a big gap. Let's go this way. Yeah, I don't know. Something about just being out here and exploring like this is a lot of fun. I think, you know, if you play with a group, the game definitely takes on a very different vibe, right? Like if there were 5 of us on, you know, we'd be taking a multi-crew ship or a bunch of fighters or something. But it'd be a lot less like exploratory, kind of be rolling through missions pretty quick. It's a very different kind of collaborative vibe. That's really pretty.
Yep. Yeah, but this has kind of more that kind of Bethesda feel where you're like a single player. You're kind of just out exploring like in Fallout 4 or Skyrim. Kind of has that same kind of feel. And like those games, it's not procedural. They kind of handcraft the terrain.
Yeah.
There's like more stuff to kind of get into.
You saw they surprise dropped remastered Oblivion on everybody. And like I think out of the bunch, I really liked Morrowind, but I don't know that I have the patience for it these days. And Oblivion was pretty good too. Makes me wonder if I want to go back and play that, or you know, or if the remastered version just lacks some kind of magic, as tends to happen when they remaster things.
Yeah, it's funny. I was a big fan of Fallout 4. Never played any of the other Fallouts, but I've never actually played Skyrim at all.
I mean, at this point, it's also almost like a meme. It's like you already know everything you need to know about Skyrim.
Well, not for me because I've never watched any videos on it, never played it, so I could actually go in as a first timer.
I mean, it's worth it. And you can, you know, if you have it on PC, you can get mods that don't really change the content. They just kind of like update visuals and fix bugs.
Landing.
I was actually thinking of playing Fallout 4 because that I was playing it and there was that Sim Settlements mod, and they came out in 3 different chapters. So I played chapter 1 and 2, and then just as my eyes were turning on me, chapter 3 came out,
Launch
and that was the end of the story.
inactive.
And so they had set up. In fact, then the guy was bragging about how cool the story was. So I could tell they were setting up all this stuff for this cool ending, but I've never known the ending. And I figured since they have that VAT system in Fallout 4, that's probably something I could play earlier while my eyes are still coming online.
Quantum drive.
Yeah, I got cut off on my eye drops last Friday. Said my eyes were good enough that I could stop taking the eye drops. I wasn't realizing how good what those things were actually doing. I noticed like right after I stopped taking them, like 24 hours later, my eyeball started like, aching,
Oof.
kind of like a headache, but like in my eyeball. Because like one of them was doing like some pain killing and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's rough.
So I was thinking like, because I actually never felt any pain through the whole like surgery and all the like that first month of recovery. I thought this is easy. It's like, yeah, as soon as you stop the drugs, then it gets harder.
That's how you, yeah. That's how we get people dependent on stuff, though. So it's probably good to eventually wean
One of
off.
the eye drops I had to like wean off. I was taking like 4 drops a day for like for the first week, and then it was 3 drops a day for the second week, and then 2, and then 1, and then that ran out. And another one only lasted like 15 days of that month, and then it ran out. I guess that last one was the crutch I was leaning on. Actually, I still have some of the drops. One night, I almost wanted to go like drop some more in, just because it was kind of like that migraine headache, where it's not really that painful, but it's just enough that keeps you awake when you're trying to fall asleep.
Yeah. Oh, those are the worst. I suppose getting used to it being your eyes would be a whole nother added complication.
Active.
I became a world-class eye dropper, and I know that.
Got all the
I think
experience with it
at one
now.
point I was taking like 12 or 15 like drops a day, different times. Actually, I had to set up, a bunch of alarms on my cell phone, so I couldn't keep track of all the different times I had to take them.
This guy drifts a lot more than I'm ready for. Come on. No, collision alert. No. There we go. And now we are soundless. Alright, let's run all this stuff to the station inventory. Maybe do an asteroid base or something?
I think that this might have been my first Pyro hangar. So I think
Oh
before
yeah,
we just
because I
flew
kept
it,
getting stranded.
and we went right out to like one of that desert planet, and then never made it off of it.
I'll just manually carry the undersuit. Not grenade. Why did you do that, game? Lovely. Yeah, the hangars are adequately gross. You come back to Grimhex after being here, and you're like, oh, Grimhex is pretty nice.
And luxury.
Yeah, it's just scummy and dark everywhere, and there's just garbage.
I was laughing at your shortcut in the 400i. I never thought about using the elevator shaft like that.
Yeah, if you go straight down, you can sometimes take like 1% damage. But if you hit where the button is, like the console on the elevator, it kind of just slides you over real nice. Running no issues that way. Let's see this helmet. Let's look at all of them, actually. Alright, so the Kalava helmet used to be something you could only get with, like, I think it was like a CitizenCon gift from forever ago. But I like it because it's totally obscured. There's no eyes. No head. Alright, these. This is just standard. Sov. And this one has a little yellow to it. Nice.
And a little Wi-Fi antenna.
Yeah. And have your Bluetooth, you know. Alright, let's see if I can buy a little bit more P4 ammo. One thing I don't like about the little locations in Pyro. You know, I'm going to claim my pulse. Like the smaller service locations, is that they have really limited ammo.
Vehicle retrieval system.
It's like you'll go to buy more ammo and you'll be able to buy like 5 clips. Pulse.
Your insurance card, please.
I'm sure that's here for next time. Even if we go to the asteroid base, I'll probably still use the pulse.
Well, I can see that 400i, the bike bay worked for the first time ever.
Well, we could try. We'll see if it's working now or not. Alright, let's go get some heals.
I think the only way we got to use it before was we loaded AU into it.
Yeah, just put him in the... Here it is. Floor 8, room 5. It's just so gross. There's broken shit everywhere, wires, people cowering.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out why that guy was cowering, but I thought maybe that's something you do on a station like this.
Yeah, it's hard to know whether it's just like, is this just a pyro thing or what?
Yeah. Is it like the Pyro T-pose?
It's just piles of garbage out here. It's 1, 2, so let's go this way. So this guy's just out here, you know, shooting up.
Yeah,
You got your
he
syringes,
looks
you know, you're like,
like
yeah, it's just gross. 3, 4, 5. Right. Just as likely to get your kidney stolen as healed up. This is where I think down the line they should remove a lot of this stuff from Pyro and just make the stations really minimal services at best. Like if you come, I was really looking forward to a Pyro where you'd have to like bring your own respawn with you and like you'd have to plan your fuel more carefully. You know, the gameplay mechanics aren't there yet, but I would love the idea that like when they have manual refueling, I'm guessing it'll just be like a 1, 2, 4 SCU container with like a little hose attachment that you can use to refuel your stuff. And I would love if they took refueling away from a lot of these stations and really had to just like do it yourself.
Well, it's too hard, I think, on the first system like this, because like with Pyro, being so long in development, people wanted to come out and try it. So, but I can see him adding that to as a start adding like the 3rd or 4th solar system, making one of those, like low service. So you have to go out there in a ship with a med, with an internal med bay, and with bigger fuel tank, because then that kind of feels like more like you're exploring the frontier then.
Yeah, or the idea that like one reason you might want a big ship with a docking, like a little hangar in it, right, is because like your Carrack can cross the system and get you really far out. And then to fly around at spot to spot, you have another little ship with you. Because now there's not a ton of need for it.
Yeah, but it makes like the Carrack and that what's the new Carrack killer that just came out, I think it's a Misk one.
Oh, the Star Lancer?
Oh yeah, Star Lancer Max. But it makes a ship like that, like, because Pyro has the frontier feel, but since it was the first one, they had to give you refueling and stuff in hospitals.
Yeah, I'm willing to pass on that. Or like the idea that like all the best gear is in Pyro kind of makes no sense. You're like, why would the best things be here where it's just like this miserable like backwater? All right, it's like, oh, right, because you need to give people a reason to show up.
Yep.
All right. We're good. I'm gonna find some asteroid mission.
I think Nyx was supposed to be the next one, and that has that station that used to be in the game that Brevity
Levski.
likes.
Yeah, and I think Nyx is going to have, I think, just some empty planets, and like Levski's the only thing there, but it's small. And then I forget how the map works. One of the systems they're planning to bring in, you can only get to by going through Pyro, and I forget which one it is. It's not Terra. It's not Magnus. They're not bringing that in yet. I think
it starts with the
it's like the
starts with the
military
C.
one they showed off, or it used to be
Yeah.
military. And I like that
If it-
idea.
I saw a list of like the first 5 systems. So it was Pyro was gonna be first. Nyx was supposed to be the next one, and then they had 2 military ones that you had to kind of go through, kind of like train cars. So the first military one was like more like a supply depot type of area, and I think that was the one that started with C, and then that one chained out to another military one, which was more like a you're on the front line type of feel, and that was kind of like had the Squadron 42 tie-in.
Welcome.
In fact, it was unclear if that was like a Squadron 42 only, place.
Your vehicle has been visited again.
This is the station
That's
where
actually
the
interesting. I
elevators are
wonder
not
if
armistice, so you can get mugged.
is the Squadron 42 areas gonna be. That actually might be cool if you could get to like one Squadron 42 area from the live, from the PTU. So that was kind of like a a handoff point.
I mean, I'd like
I
that.
guess it's not.
I think they're separated by like 50 years or something, though, in time.
Yeah, that's what I think. There's a time difference in single player versus multiplayer.
I don't know. They said you know, I think one thing that upset people was that they brought the F8 Lightning into the game when it was supposed to be a reward for finishing the
Yeah,
campaign.
that's exactly what it was
Um,
supposed to be.
but it's the F8C, so people are like, well, maybe we'll get the F8A version. So I don't know. We'll find out.
Or they'll come up with you a different reward. I wasn't really that impressed with. So I remember I was like seeing that at one of the like expo showroom floors. We could sit in it, but it wasn't flyable. I was kind of underimpressed with it. So I have this Squadron 42.
Yeah, I got it with
I
my
got that
game
hat.
package forever ago, with my Cutlass way
Yep.
back in the day. Just want to get off the pad far enough. Yeah, this should be good.
I thought it'd be kind of cool if you could play Squadron 42, and then at the end of that game, it dumped you into like a station that was accessible in the in the PU. So then you would have to.
And I would like that as an approach. I think that's actually kind of a good idea. I guess we'll stick with the 400i.
And then you'd fly to the home station that you picked.
Well, I'll say two things about it. One, because the learning curve is kind of difficult with Star Citizen, it would be nice to have a very long training session that gets everybody some degree of capability with the game before they can get into the universe. That said, I did start playing this Monster Hunter game with everybody, and that's essentially how it operates. Like, you can't really do the true multiplayer until you finish the campaign,
Oh yeah.
and it's really annoying, and I hate it. Like, I literally, I uninstalled the game. I'm like, I don't want to play this in my spare time. I just got this to play with friends, and the best you can do right now is they'll show up when you fight a monster, which meant I'm skipping all the story cutscenes just to get to the fights faster,
Yep.
which is, like, not cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Too many things in games happen like that where you think this would be perfect until you see it, and it's like, oh man, I hate it.
Yeah, so, I mean, it sounds like they have this, like, voice-acted set of missions coming that's like a escalating set of 6 or 8 combat missions.
Oh yeah.
And
The
that sounds like a good start if they can get it to work properly. Because I've seen a lot of posts on Reddit recently for people who've tried the tutorial during the free fly. They're like, hey, I'm a new player, I did the free fly, but, like, it never completed, and now I can't access my account. You know, it's like that kind of stuff happens. It's like, come on, guys.
The other thing
You gotta
I
fix
heard
this
someone
shit.
say about it is the they don't have enough instrumentation, so the tutorial can't tell when you're doing something. because the guy would say it would be really cool if the tutorial would say like, well, you go out and like lock on this target, and then you'd lock on the target, and the tutorial would say, okay, good. It doesn't do that. It kind of gives you some general instructions like go lock on a target and kill it, but it has no idea what you're doing along the way, so it can't give you feedback that you're doing it right or wrong,
Right.
or remind you that you missed a step. That's not what I expected.
Oh, there goes. It's kind of... Well... Guess we'll see.
It didn't look like it landed. Like usually they kind of hover down and touch the ground more. That's the first time I saw a pulse.
I mean, I have the X1. I probably could have brought that out, but that's okay. I expect we'll, like, enter quantum and it'll just disappear anyway.
I like that they have that though, because I can put it in my cutter.
Yeah, it fits in all
'Cause you can
sorts of
get, like,
stuff.
you can get a pulse and an atlas,
Yeah, it's like right on the
so your
ceiling.
geo in a cutlass.
I mean, you can do it in a cutter. In the
I mean, yeah,
either
cutter,
of
I meant.
either the scout or the standard one. The other one has like a bigger hab area, so you can't fit as much.
Yeah.
Which is weird because I want the higher fuel tank of the Rambler.
Well, so I was thinking that because they're not, it's not offered anymore, but I thought like one of the like Invictus or um, IE is they'll come up with a thing where I could upgrade for $5 or $10 my cutter standard to the extra fuel tank one. But then you lose two because I think it does. You get 4 SCU in the standard and only 2 SCU in the one with the extra fuel tank. Because they kind of redid where the bathroom is.
Right. All right, I'm gonna cruise for a second. I gotta go AFK, and I'm not gonna do these missions. We'll find an asteroid base after this, but I'll be right back.
All right.
All right. Wait, what do I want? I want... No, this. Yes. Oh, not that. There we go. Alright, let's find an asteroid base. Shut off power. No, I want to do this. Need a death. Victory. I think that'll work.
Quantum drive activated.
I haven't been able to play any games yet. Is that when I stopped? Because I was waiting till after that doctor's appointment last Friday just to make sure everything was hunky dory. That's when I started getting the eyeball ache.
Yeah. So you haven't. I know you wanted to try something with like a strategy game or whatever it was, some little slower
Yeah, I picked out
paced.
Terra Invicta as a kind of
Yeah.
strategy game, but it's got some like real-time combat in it. But the way it's structured is you have to assign these. You kind of get these team of counselors that have different skills, and you kind of build them up. And then every like 2 weeks in the game or every month, I forgot what it was, you have to give them like a mission to accomplish. So it kind of has a natural kind of pause.
Shield system active.
I was all excited. Yeah, because I was gonna do it last weekend. Started to play through that.
Contact.
And they have different factions that have like different end goals for how you complete the game. So there's one faction that, because they have factions that hate the aliens and like the aliens and want to surrender to the aliens and worship them, or so you can by the faction you pick, you get to. It's really kind of how you, what your opinion of the aliens and how you deal with the invasion.
Missile block.
But one of them I thought was cool is Exodus, is they want to get the fuck out of there.
Contact.
So you end up like building a big colony ship and try to exit before the aliens wipe out Earth and kill you.
Achieved missile block.
Best thing about this ship is it's got shields for days because it's got a nice big size 3 power or shield generator.
Contact.
Bad thing about this ship is it's slow.
And it wasn't. That's the other thing I was disappointed in, is it's the turrets for your like second and third player
Oh
as
yeah.
fun as like other ships. 'Cause they were like too small and in weird positions where they had lots of coverage to the back.
Yeah, it's like they're there for running away. Right? Like if you're
Yep.
gonna well, in the original like setup for the ship, I think that made a lot of sense where it was like this ship is fast and shielded but doesn't have a lot of HP. And like its goal is to kind of just get out of there if it gets in trouble because it's like a luxury yacht. Right? It's not there to, maintain a lot of combat. It's kind of related to the MSR in some ways.
Yeah, I think my favorite ship was always the Redeemer, which like the turret gunners loved it, but the pilot hated it.
I definitely hated flying it. They've made it a much more nimble ship now.
Like, I can remember always begging you, let's take the Redeemer, and you're like, "Yo, really? Do we have to?"
Well, they downgraded the guns, so those big turrets aren't size 5s anymore. They're size 4s.
Oh.
Get the hits, get the hits, get the hits, get the hits. See, so like these guns are dual rhinos, right? So these are dual size 4s. So I'm basically firing the same firepower as one of those Redeemer turrets. You can kind of see where that gets you.
Contact.
It's like
Yeah,
it works,
so that was
but
the secret to that
you're
ship,
not.
those size 5s.
Yeah,
Hostile
there he
eliminated.
goes.
And
All
they were the
right.
ballistic ones too, so you got the the daka effect. And it's cool because I remember like we went out as a pair, and you had to suffer the driver's seat, but then I could get in one turret and then
Achieved
drain it dry, and then hop down to the other turret and then drain that one dry. So it gave you like 2 magazines to play with, unless you had the third player. It's disappointing because it was some other ship I was like watching a ship review video on it, and they had changed the guns on it from size 4 to size 5. And so I was thinking, oh, good, they're upgrading, a lot of the turrets to be more fun.
Achieved missile lock.
I think that last one might have... Nope, he's locked.
Contact.
What would be the best multiplayer ship for PL now? What's your opinion?
Yeah, I don't know. Strike Force. I mean, the Corsair's always good. The Connies are always good.
I think the Corsair was our go-to there because they had the 2 turrets that were pretty fun, and you could get them to go forward, so you could have all 3 players firing at the same target in front of the ship.
Achieved missile lock.
Oh, come on. Just... I don't know that it'll matter very much. And all these missiles, but as they get close to the asteroid, it makes it hard to see them. Come on, let's get a little closer. He's like in the rock.
Hostile eliminated.
There's this guy.
Under attack.
One thing I like about cannons is when you drain the capacitor and they get to 0, they'll fire rounds as they recharge, so you can still sort of like slowly kind of make your hits. Whereas this, you kind of have to let it fully recharge. That other one's a Vanguard. I might save the missiles for him. Like, what are they doing? They're not even fighting me.
Achieved missile lock.
Here, let's just... Too close.
Achieved missile lock.
3, 4, hit him.
Achieved missile lock. Achieved missile lock.
Come on, kill him. Look, I have 4 missiles queued up, but it's only firing 2 of them. Isn't that interesting? I can't even fire this one. All right. This is gonna take a while with these crappy guns.
Shields under attack.
Did you lose your targeting pip?
No, it's when you go into precision mode, you can just target it right at them, and it will offset the guns automatically based on your cursor.
I see.
And that's more for like sniping turrets on big ships and stuff. But it is disconcerting because, yeah, you lose your pip. And you're like, well, wait, where did it go? And you're trying to shoot it. There's a bunch of new turret things, too, because it's like... your turret has a gimbaled mode now that automatically tracks whatever's in front of you. And it actually works pretty well.
Shields under attack.
Yeah, I know. You actually gonna come close and engage, please? 'Cause I'm hitting you with all sorts of fire. Blew your wings off. You're so tanky now. I think this is the Warden, too, because it's got all these distortion weapons.
Achieved missile lock.
No, you didn't. I know that's a lie. Just don't want to get too close to the base because it's got all those turrets that'll light me up. The intensity of the music belies the absolute tedium of this fucking
Shields
fight.
under attack.
Alright, come on, get close to me. Get close to me. Why are you standoffing at me? AI knows it can use the base turrets, that's why. You'll notice another thing that's going on is that one of my two guns is frequently off target because the gimbals can't follow the ship because of the way the nose is set up.
Oh yeah.
Try it like this. You can see those two separate ones. So if they're both not hitting at times. This is good hits. These are good hits. There we go.
Hostile eliminated.
Finally.
Shields under attack.
Yeah, that's another reason like the Corsair is like a better ship for like this type of mission because it's got its guns out on the wings a little bit, so it
Yeah, see how it's only
I kinda
targeting
like
that
this.
right gimbal? Yeah.
kind of a trade-off where you have to keep them right in the, right in the center of the nose. But if you let them drift to one side, you lose a gun. I kind of like that.
Missile lock.
He's pretty close now. We should get some decent hits on it.
Hostile.
There we
Yeah,
go.
I don't remember like the Reliance being,
Oop.
NPC fights like this. I like that they're mixing it up more. Because before there used to be like, 4 types of NPC ships. You get like a Cutlass, like a Vanguard, and the the Freelancer the missile version of it. But you can tell it's gonna be the same 4 ships every time. I'm seeing like more different variety now.
This. We're gonna take the bike in.
Oh, nice. The space bike.
Why not? You won't aggro the turrets. Park it right out front. Whoop. Still change the door color to the external environment color. For some reason. So close you, open you. What I might do is just tractor beam the bike off of this thing.
Or
Nope.
not. There's an anti-theft feature.
Hello, bike. How can I get on you? Okay. Just inaccessible now.
Yeah,
you-
for some reason I didn't. I
Did
didn't
you
think
get
it was,
killed
like,
by the
locked right.
ships? Yeah,
Even when you first docked it, didn't look like it was. I'd never seen it before, but it looked like it was kind of in a funny position, like it's not.
well, that's annoying. Fine. we'll float it.
Hey, your
That's-
brilliant plan foiled.
This is typical. It's all right. We'll get to go space swimming. Nice slow cruise across 1.5 kilometers of.
Do these guys have fuel yet? Because
They do. So the way it works is it uses your oxygen. What's that? So the more fuel you breathe your oxygen, but you also use it as a thruster. So you just kind of have to like thrust yourself in a particular direction and then stop thrusting. You can see it kind of. I don't know if it's animating of this one properly. They still haven't made it where like some suits are more EVA capable than others. Look at the actual entrance. I think I'm upside down. Yeah. So I was confused.
and then to fill up your oxygen, you need to be like in a pressurized area, then it autofills.
Correct. Anywhere that has O2 in the atmosphere. And then like bigger suits have more oxygen. Right, so like I'm wearing heavy armor and stuff, so it has a bunch. But I think they'll eventually change it to where if you're going to do a lot of EVA, you'll need a suit that has like special thrusters.
Yeah, or an extra like tank just for thrusting.
Well, they tease a bunch of grappling, right? So if I didn't have the right suit, I would have to like pull myself along the rock and launch myself off in the direction I want to go instead of using like thrusters. It's probably not the best way to do it, but the nice thing is you at least like drift. You don't come to a stop anymore. I don't know why I'm covered in dirt. Or it looks like frost. I don't know. Oops. So sad about the bike. Maybe I should have put it in the cargo bay.
Yeah, I wanted to see it work too.
Yeah, like if a bunch of us rolled up in the Corsair, we could just destroy the turrets. You know, we have plenty of firepower. Blow up the turrets, park right outside, good to go. Or if they had like hacking gameplay, that'd be cool, where you could take control of the turrets and they could guard your ship while you were waiting inside doing stuff.
Don't some of the hover bikes have a gun on them?
Yeah, so the Pulse has that gun, and then the X1s have guns, and the Dragonfly, I think, comes stock with like ballistic shotguns, which makes
Yeah, I
it
was
really
trying to
useful
was
for
thinking
boarding.
that the Dragonfly had some kind of gun on it that there was no like use for it. When I was playing because there's like no external NPCs or anything back in the day.
Yeah, there's a turret right there. There's one up there. They have actually pretty good coverage this side of the asteroid. My hope is that nobody's really doing these missions all that much. We can get some good loot inside. That'd be fun. Oop, hold on. Let's turn the Roomba off. Before he gets so much background noise that just washes out all sounds. There we go. Okay. Is that a guy? No. Are there any guys? Anybody home? There's one. Ooh. Sneaky, sneaky. Oh, if there's anything in there. Let's see if I can break in again. I forget the way that works. I forget if you have to climb up or down first. I think it's up. I think it's up here. Something like that. Yeah, there it is. Camera. Oh. Grappling fail. Almost got it. Says go that way. Don't we? Yeah, here's the moving laser ones. So maybe that was the right way.
Yeah, I got a nice surprise. In fact, I just got a text to remind me. Is that I bought. I own 160 acres up kind of in the Yosemite foothills.
Oh, nice.
That is all just kind of open land, and my plan at one point was to like build a retirement type house up there. But while I was kind of waiting, I I lease it to a rancher that puts his cattle on it and
Neat.
pays me, and it's actually kind of good because when as part of like the contract, he maintains all the fences so like his cattle doesn't run away, and also and the cattle kind of eats down all the vegetation so it doesn't get like all overgrown with like long grasses and stuff. But since I was, in fact, just before my eyes like turned on me is like the contract ran out, and then I'd kind of forgotten about it, and then after my eyes like turned on me, I couldn't. It was like it was doing stuff like that was like too difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought I went like a couple years without doing that. And he said what like the last contract we did was like a 2-year one, which is why I kind of had forgotten about it when it expired. But he said since he was having a hard time reaching me, and so he said what he did is he just created a bank account and like continued the last lease, like just putting money in it, so he could still keep putting his cattle on it and kind of justify that he wasn't just ripping me off. So he had this whole like bank account of like several grand. That was a surprise.
It's good that, somebody's out there treating you well and not just, like, doing their own self-interest, screwing you over.
Yeah. But it totally took me by surprise. I thought, man, that's damn cool. And something he could have easily just like, I'll just put him on there, like no one be the wiser. So
Somebody
you
must
just
have
send a
been...
text. It looks like the checks and the new leases in my mailbox.
Nice.
Or he said it should be there when wanted to see if I had gotten it. I haven't been out to my mailbox in a couple days.
Go in that toilet.
Yes, that's why I was looking at graphics cards. I thought I could use some of that surprise money.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've been getting, 50 to 60 FPS all morning. No real issues in any environments.
Yep.
It works well. I'm guessing my last 3 guys are up here.
That's the thing I wasn't looking forward to, is just kind of like researching all the graphics card lay of the land again.
Where are these guys? Yeah, I don't know. The 5000 series has had some teething issues anyway. They had some like weird driver stuff going on.
And also I got to be careful if I can't go too high, because then I'd have to upgrade my power supply also.
Right.
So I figure I think I could, the 3 series is I could get it on my current power supply, but I think if I go to like the 4 series, that might start stressing it. But then again, I should look at all the AMD cards too. I figure what I want to get is the one that has the most video memory, because I wanted to play with some running some local LLMs, just to play with those local. So I wanted to get like 12 or 16 gigabytes of video RAM, but something that's cheap and doesn't have too much power, and it's like older, so it doesn't have any like teething problems with it. They catch on fire.
Halt and catch fire would be not great. Alright, maybe they're in the... They must be in the hangar. I'm not happy with the lack of loot around here, though. There we go. Loot box? Nothing. Man. I was thinking for sure we would get some goodies.
Yeah, I like these new areas though, because they're like really big, bunkers. And I like the old bunker missions, but they were it was so small, and you had done them so many times.
Right.
I like.
Yeah, and you start to learn your way around these ones too, but
But
You
they're
know,
much bigger.
they're bigger. There's some variety in location, and you have surface targets, asteroid bases, right? There's a lot of different ways you can go about it. Are there any guys down here? Did they just not spawn? Hello? Anybody?
Is that a hospital behind you? There's some kind of like cross on the wall.
Yeah, there's like one of those
Yeah.
medical elevators, which is new to me. Alright, I wonder if I'm
With
just
the
shit
medical
out of luck.
elevator. Oh, like
Well, it's
in the
like,
stations?
yeah, in the
They
stations you
take you-
can... It's not a box.
I just got a flashback to that time where like we were
Oh, like getting drugged up.
also and dumping each other off the like the carts, trying to like wheel them.
Yeah. Alright, well, I guess, maybe this mission's bugged, maybe it's not. I'm no longer at the target's location, so I'm guessing it is not out here. But it's always worth a look around. I could spawn a ship in here that can be full of drugs, which is kind of cool. But if you leave the asteroid base too far, then it despawns, so you have to like bring another ship and park it outside the hangar and move the drugs. You lootable? Of course you're not. Alright, what's this? Oh, sit. I don't need to sit.
That was lootable.
Oh, it just said sit.
Oh, that's it,
It's a tease.
bastard.
Somebody might have the power mission, so I'm just gonna do it for him. Can we not? What, I can only jump sometimes? Yeah, there's nothing here. Ooh. You got these freight elevators, like you should be able to come here and have local storage. I don't know how you would ever access it otherwise. Alright, well. Back inside, I guess. Maybe there's another place I haven't checked properly. Security, what is... Was that where I was before? I thought it said maintenance access. Maybe there's a whole nother section I've never been to. Oh yeah, look at this! Where the fuck are we? Oh, we're back at the front. Oh. Oh, it gets you back out this way. Alright, let's look around. That's where these last jokers are.
Yeah,
My
I
guess
can't
is
help you
they-
'cause it all looks new.
Yeah, my guess is they spawned outside somewhere. It's like how those other missions said they were all at Chala's Beach and it spawned somewhere else. Yeah, so the guys I killed. I'll break all these power plants, because why not? That way, if somebody's coming here to do the mission, it's just going to be done for them. And maybe that will, get the guys to spawn like we want. Hello? Anybody around? How about over here again? No luck.
Oh, there's a 3 of 6, so 50% of them you've gotten.
Yeah. I just think the others haven't actually appeared the way they should. Usually there's some guys in this room out here where it's like a crossroads. You know, and they're like back here shooting down the hall at you.
This kind of reminds me of that old, bunker thing where they're inside those little spawn elevators.
Right? And here's the other elevator area again. We checked up there. Let's go back into the gun store. Yeah, nobody's here. Womp womp. Must have spent too long flying around outside. Problem is with this one, it pays 104k. So you kill these 8 guys or whatever, 6 guys. That spawns the boss for you to kill. Or, it should. Where does this go?
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I don't know that I want to find out. Yeah, let's not go there.
But then kind of like the Siege of Orson, it bugs out, and then you can never get the boss.
Yep. It's good to know that there's
I
that
guess
back elevator, though. That's an interesting... I don't know if they're in here. No. And then this was the one we took down. Popped out right here by security, which makes sense. This is the security station. And we're at the entrance. Yeah, I don't know. Also don't see a
And this is where
marker
you
from a
need it.
ship.
This is where you need that like FPS radar on your helmet.
Well, and a lot of the times, a mission that gets this close to being done will give you markers for each person, right? Like those surface missions were like
Oh
that.
yeah. When you got down to like the last,
Yeah,
I guess you're still at 50%, so it doesn't think you're close enough.
maybe.
Is that you get them like on the last 2 or 3 when you had like 12 guys to kill, so you need to get like like 25% remaining or 20%.
Should be better about looting NPC ships for their components. I think that's just a turret.
Yeah,
There's a
something I
Hornet
never
over
got
here.
to do.
The thing with the Hornets is none of them have their gold standard, so you're not getting anything anyway. Maybe some guns, but you'll not get the components. But like,
I saw
the-
people getting like the turrets off of them. That
Yeah.
was
I think that's a Hornet 1.
some guy in some video. He was after the turret for his Hornet, but it turned out he was in a ship where he couldn't get it he couldn't fit it in the cargo bay. It was too like thin,
Nice.
and he was disappointed because he had found the Hornet, got the turret off of it, and then just couldn't bring it home.
Yeah, there's another one. Death at an asteroid base.
Do they make weapons more expensive, or ones that you can't buy now? Because I think that's the reason I never did it back then. Is like the weapons were so cheap and they were all available to purchase.
Yeah,
Like you want to
every
an hour ripping it off someone's ship, where it's like paid.
yeah, everything's a bit more expensive now, to be sure.
But for the FPS weapons, they make some that you just can't buy and you have to loot them now.
FPS weapons, for the most part, you can't buy sniper rifles in Stanton or machine guns in Stanton.
Did they do that with like ship weapons?
Yeah,
Where there's
some.
ship weapons you can't buy, you have to loot.
I think like the rail guns, the NDB series of weapons, you have to get.
Oh yeah.
And those are good. People really like those because they're pretty high projectile velocity and high damage, so they're good for PvP.
Well, in fact, that's what the guy ended up saying. he couldn't get the turret, but at least he got these NDBs, and it sounded like they were salvage only.
Well, and all you need is one of something, and then you can pull it off your ship, pay to repair it, and now you have two of them, and pull it. You know, so you can get everything you need eventually with that kind of like paid duping. It's very atmospheric out here, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of cool because that's what people wanted for like their their good suits and stuff, because you want to be able to wear them, but then once you find them, you don't want to have to go find them again. You'd like to say, yeah, once I found them, now I have permission to buy them from now on.
Yeah, it sort of is that way, right? It's a bit of a kludgy way to do it, but that is how it kind of works. And then, the other stuff is like the shields, power plant, all that. Like the military grade A and the stealth grade A are all kind of locked up here. Open it. I guess let's open it this way. Okay. Part of the trouble though is like grade 3 components aren't lootable, right? So like I'll never be able to get a tier 3 shield this way. Right, you would have to actually get a hold of a ship through, I guess, Wicklow or through the contested zone ship thing. I don't think they have any large ships in that, though. And then that would have, like, your FR-86 size 3 shield that you could then use. So, this mission's a bust. That's my rep with Headhunters these days. Some of the way through Contractor. Alright, actually I think I'm just going to return to base. Like it's probably time for me to get on doing other stuff today. Gaslight though. So close, I can probably just jump to it right from here. But I like the idea of scavenging ships. I would like it if we could more easily tear down larger components off of ships. You were watching me that day. I went and I found that Hornet, and I was going to pull the turrets off of it, and it vanished. But there was also the what's the little ship? The Avenger Titan was there, so I was able to get his gear. So there's like a lot of good options that way. So for your small to medium ships, you can get a lot of the components just finding people's ships around. Ooh. And this cool looking ship has more shields than my Zeus, so that's a nice touch. But I still don't know that it's the right one for most of the jobs, especially if like the stupid front garage doesn't work. I'd still rather have a Corsair or a Connie and an Ursa respawn.
Yeah, I have no idea like what ships, because I used to have like a progression of ships I wanted to get in game. Yeah, that would do different jobs really well. But now there's like many more jobs and many more ships. I have no idea what ships are going to be on my short list to get go out and grab.
I mean, I think hauling gameplay is where it's at for the contracts. Because you could, I think you were telling me this last time you saw a video where you can like pretty easily get money for a Hull A, and then with a Hull A you can get like 300k an hour.
Yep.
It's like, could you do better doing something else? Probably. but like that's pretty good and it's safe.
Well, in fact, that's I think where my progression ended. I figured, I'd start with my cutter. I would get enough money to rent a Hull A, then do contract missions enough to get a vulture, and then after that, like for like doing like missions like these, like asteroid missions and other things, I'm not sure like what type of ship, like does a Cuddy Black work for 'em, or do and like even like salvaging weapons. If you want to go out and salvage ship weapons, what ship has a big enough cargo bay that's easy to load in?
Mm-hmm.
So I like the Cuddy Black because it had so many doors.
Yeah, I think that, and it has a tractor
With these
beam now.
side doors and stuff, that you could get in, you could wedge stuff in through the side doors and not always just have to like, like it's like the freelancers or most ships just have the rear cargo door and you have to load everything from the back. This one that's kind of nice to see these like missions when you're playing is kind of get an idea of what kind of stuff you're trying to pick up and
Yeah, I mean, I think, if I wanted to do some scavenging, you could definitely do better, I think, in Stanton now. I want to see what this looked like. The undersuit, I'll wear my executive. How about that? Yeah, let's put this on. Yeah, this is kind of a nice yellow look to it, and then one of these two. Yeah, there you go. So we got 2 out of the 4.
enough to make AU jealous.
Yeah, it's a pretty good looking set together. I could throw this backpack on. It doesn't look, it's green, but it matches like the camo pattern pretty well. I don't know if they make a yellow backpack. And obviously, I mean, I don't have any pants. I need pants, but I can, wear my nice padded.
Oh yep, padded jacket.
Yeah, swap it for this one. This one looks good. The same deal. Didn't I get more of these?
It's like he just got out of the shower and got a robe on.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Like that. Or what's this
helmet.
one? It's just a face mask.
Can you wear the face mask with one of those helmets?
Let's find out. That'd be pretty cool.
Or do the helmets have built-in goggles?
Yeah, that's all built in.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, the one thing I didn't like is like the hard hats did that too, where the hard hats always had built-in goggles. You couldn't wear a hard hat without goggles, or wear a hard hat with, those glasses that you could get.
yeah.
Want to be able to